Okay. Let the record reflect the jury is in the jury room. State's attorneys present, defendant and defense counsel are present. I have, it's 3 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, the 2nd. The jury began deliberations this morning, mid-morning, and the trial jury was selected Monday afternoon. We had Tuesday afternoon till, I think we were a little early leaving on Tuesday afternoon, and then we had witnesses yesterday on Wednesday throughout the day. So we received a message this morning at 11:30 asking if they could not come to an agreement, what were their next steps. It was sent back in for them to just continue deliberation. They asked at that point for some evidence that had been, we gave that to them, let them take a lunch break, brought them back, and they received several different things with regard to some phone logs and text messages. We then received a message at 1:26 that at the end of that second after lunch deliberation that they were still hopelessly deadlocked and what were their next steps. At that point, the court sent in a dynamite charge. After that, they requested all evidence other than the body cam footage. All evidence was then sent in for them to review. And then at 2:48, we just received another letter stating that they could not reach an agreement and were still a hung jury. With that being said, Mr. Gertz, Mr. Coleman.
Judge, I have 2 motions for the record, please. The first is I'm going to re-urge the court to consider a directed verdict here. Specifically, the language of the note is unique, and it essentially says we cannot the way it reads, it basically says it ought to be a not guilty. I mean, the language of the note itself is troubling, which means that the jurors are not actually following the law because they're saying we can't reach an agreement to find him guilty on all these elements. And so I think if the court, at least the way I just want the note marked, and I'm asking the court to reconsider my directed verdict from before. If the court denies that, then we would move for a mistrial for hung jury purposes.
So with regard, that's question number 6, and with regard to that, I will mark that court's exhibit number 1 for record purposes. Any issue with that being marked? And so it will be for record purposes. It states a number 10 to 2. It does not state which way that is, and so I think there's, at this point, without discussing that with them, which I think would be improper, we're just assuming one way or the other on what that is. And so I don't know, and it is a little more of a lengthy note, but I disagree, I think, with the argument that you're making, and I am going to deny that motion for a directed verdict.
So the state's not opposed to a declaration of a mistrial under the circumstances, Judge.
All right, and so I will grant the motion for a mistrial at this time. You can, and that's in both cases, obviously. You can bring the jury in.
Judge, can we address that other issue? I don't know if we need to approach on that or what we need.
Which one?
We've had some issues with some other prosecutors in the past. Afterwards, going and talking to jurors and telling them.
And yeah, we'll talk about that.
It's going and telling them, oh, if you'd have known about this prior, if you'd have known about this, you know. Okay. So.
All right, you can bring the jury in. I need to mark that. And do you take all of these? Yeah.
Give them to Anna and she puts them in the case.
Okay. We can make a copy of that one, I guess, for the case, and then what's the charge? Yeah. This also goes on my desk. I'll bring it, just put it in the pile. All right, let the record reflect that the jury is seated, state's attorney's present, defendant and defense counsel are present. Ladies and gentlemen, obviously I've received your notes. Based on the fact that you sent out now 3 notes and that final one said that you are still unable to reach a verdict, there has been a motion and I have granted a mistrial in each of these cases. So what that means is the cases will go back on the trial docket and we'll get geared up to take care of them again. So the case is over. You will be released from the instructions you were given. What I'm going to do is court will be adjourned and I'll ask everyone to excuse themselves from the courtroom. I'll come visit with you for a minute and give you your final instructions. Mr. Coleman, Mr. Smith, thank you. Mr. Gertz, Mr. Kelly, thank you very much. And everyone else, thank you all for being here. Court is adjourned.